Hello and welcome to Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. I'm Patty Mercer, standing in front of the Fort Mill History Museum's new location, and it's a ribbon-cutting kind of day.
I want to welcome everybody here for the ribbon cutting. It's a fantastic new location for the Fort Mill History Museum.
Let me talk a little bit about our new home here.
Yes, please.
We started December 2012 at the Springs building on North White Street. We had more square footage, but we now have a historic building, and it was built in 1869. And it's a smaller venue, but our venue is the greater town of Fort Mill, taking our museums, taking the museum in the schools with trunks, our trunk history, giving it to the third graders, middle school, high school. And what I have found is that there is a thirst for this information. Fort Mill has a booming explosion of new people coming here, and they have a thirst and hunger for our history. And the museum is going to serve a great purpose for that, for the present and the future.
Okay, Mrs. Close, thank you so much for being my guest on Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. This is a really exciting day.
It certainly is. We've been trying. I was on a committee that tried to start a museum back in the 80s, and it took a long time and a lot of energy and a lot of people to get it to this point. And I'm just thrilled we have a permanent home. And I was just telling somebody, I was with a large group of people last night, and I said, who was here in '94? And not a one of them.
Really?
Not one person in that crowd was
Wow.
a Fort Mill native, not even that long. So they all need to learn our history, because I think we have a great history in
I
Fort
think
Mill.
so too.
We've got lots of history. We want
Yes.
our children to.
And you are such a vital part of
Well,
that history, and preserving
and
the
90
past.
years old I am history.
But you know what? You continue to just do so much in
Well,
terms of giving back the Greenway, what the beauty of Fort Mill, supporting things like this.
Well, my daddy, I've said this in another video, my daddy always says, you must give back to this community because they were so good to us. Because my family, they've been wonderful to my family. We've had wonderful, wonderful lives and a great place to raise a family.
Wow.
So
Thank you
anything I
so
can do.
much. Well,
Thank you.
your heart is contagious, and we are so happy
you.
to
Thank
call
you.
you ours.
Thank you very much.
I can't tell you just how great this house feels. Whenever you walk in there, you just feel like this is meant to be. This is the home of the preservation, promotion, and collection of Fort Mill's history.
What does it mean to have the Fort Mill History Museum in a historical home like the Wilson House?
Well, obviously there's a deep sentimental attachment for this house to the town of Fort Mill. The first house built on Main Street, moved here back in the 20s, I believe they said. So,
Wow.
There's a certain sentimental historical attachment there that I think is in keeping with what we've always tried to promote, which is, again, embracing the growth and trying to look at the positive aspects of it, strategically planning for it, while retaining our appreciation and our respect for the people, places, and things that make Fort Mill so special.
The opening of the History
Yes.
Museum in this location is critical to let people know that this is available. It's an outreach program that will help everyone that comes to Fort Mill for all the reasons that we love it, will be able to connect to how it got this way. And I think that's a precious jewel for the town of Fort Mill.
3, 2, 1. Well, that's it for this edition of Carmen Miller's Talk of the Town, Fort Mill, TKK. To see more beautiful homes in our area, go to homesfortmill.com. And to learn more about our area, you can visit me on the radio Tuesdays and Thursdays for Close Up Fort Mill, TKK on WRHI at 11:30. Fort Mill is about preserving the past and promoting the future. And the Fort Mill History Museum is a great beginning to learn about where we all live and where we all play. Until next time, bye-bye.